Rick and Morty has a growing list of episodes fans consider complete mistakes.
Hey look, Morty! I'm a leg! A leg, Morty!
And no, we're not talking about Season 7, the first season released without Justin Roiland's voice acting, which many blamed for the negative reception, though it was really more about losing the beloved voice actor than the actual quality. Today we're focusing on Rise of the Numbericons the movie from Season 7, Episode 8, the episode with the lowest IMDB rating in Rick and Morty history at 4.4. But here's the thing, this episode wasn't just bad, it was intentionally designed to break every rule of the show. While everyone else was calling it unwatchable garbage, I noticed something they didn't. Hidden messages, corrupted frames, and a warning about something coming. And I'm about to show you how this mistake actually revealed something the creators never wanted us to discover. Something that changes everything about how we understand Rick and Morty.
Your exile ends today. Welcome home. Water, tea.
The Numbericons! They're attacking!
The episode starts off weird even by Rick and Morty standards. We're thrown into what looks like a cheaply animated toy commercial from the 80s. But pay attention, because this isn't just a parody. Sure, it looks like they're mocking Transformers or Power Rangers, but the animation style isn't consistent with any real 80s show. It's deliberately wrong, intentionally broken. Throughout the episode, Rick keeps mentioning things like contractual obligations and format requirements. At first, it seems like typical Rick meta humor, but then something disturbing happens. Freeze it right here. Look at Rick's pupils. Those aren't reflections. Those are production codes. Specifically, codes that don't match this episode. Notice how the animation literally breaks here? That's not a stylistic choice. If you slow it down frame by frame, you can actually see production notes bleeding through the animation cells. Notes that read, "This wasn't supposed to air." But there's more text. Dates from 2019, initials JR before Justin Roiland left. This episode has been sitting in a vault for years. But it gets worse, because this isn't the first time something like this happened in Rick and Morty. Remember Never Ricking Morty? Or Total Recall? Each time the show breaks its own reality, we get closer to a truth that Rick desperately wants to hide. Here's what most fans miss.
Next time on Rick and Morty.
Next time on Rick and Morty?
No, previously on Rick and Morty.
Ignore it, Morty. Next time on Rick and Morty, it counteracts his toxins.
Next time on Rick and Morty? Whose toxins?
Hey, stop it! Previously on, grab him! Hold on tight, Morty. We gotta get through the opening titles.
Opening titles of what?
Rick's fourth wall breaks aren't random. They follow a pattern. And in Rise of the Numbericons, that pattern completely falls apart. I mapped out every fourth wall break in the series. They increase exponentially. But in Season 7, they don't just increase, they become desperate. When you reverse the audio of the Numbericons speaking, they're not saying nonsense. They're saying, "Help us, we're trapped." But trapped where? That's when things get really dark. Run it through a spectrogram and you'll see this. Images hidden in the sound waves, images of the Smith house. But it's not animated. It's a real house, with real people inside.
I was told last night that at Comic-Con we'll be doing a table read of the Two Beths episode.
Yes.
And my response was very sincerely, I was like, oh, maybe I should punch that script up before we and Steve Levy said, it already aired. Television.
Dan Harmon once joked at Comic-Con about episodes we can't talk about. Everyone laughed. But notice how quickly Adult Swim's lawyers changed the subject. Because here's the thing. Rise of the Numbericons wasn't originally episode 8. I found this in Adult Swim's scheduling database before it was scrubbed. There's a missing episode. Production code 708-X. The X isn't a variable, it's a designation. If you check the production codes, there's a gap. The real episode 8 was something else entirely. Something that got buried. And I think I know why. At exactly 14 minutes and 32 seconds for just 3 frames, you can see this. Rick, animated in a completely different style, sitting in what looks like an Adult Swim production office. He's holding a sign, and what that sign says changes everything. At 14:32, Rick breaks character completely. Not a fourth wall break. He literally stops being Rick. His pupils dilate, his expression goes blank, and he mouths something. Frame by frame, it looks like "help me."
They all say that. They all have that excuse. It's part of their system. None of them have to be responsible. They're all victims of themselves. Oh, it's so hard to be a genius. Couldn't you just die? What are you doing about it? Jack shit. I'm leaving. Do you know what the central finite curve is? They built a wall around infinity. They separated all the infinite universes from all the infinite universes where he's the smartest man in the universe.
This connects directly to Evil Morty's revelation about the central finite curve, the wall that separates all the universes where Rick is the smartest man from the ones where he isn't. But what if that wall is breaking? Throughout Season 7, the animation quality deliberately degrades in specific scenes, not budget cuts, intentional corruption. Like the show itself is dying, and Rise of the Numbericons is where it all comes to a head. The whole episode presents Rick and Morty as literal toys, products, commercialized versions of themselves. They're not just aware they're in a TV show, they're aware they're merchandise. During the climax, when the animation breaks down completely, listen to the background audio. It's not random noise, it's reversed audio from the Ricklantis mix-up, specifically Evil Morty's theme. The Numbericons themselves look familiar? They use the exact same base design as the decoy families from Mortyplicity, the ones that became aware of their artificial nature, the ones that tried to break free. And those production notes that bleed through? They're not fake. They're real notes from the episode Final Desmithation, an episode about being trapped by meta-narrative, an episode about fortune cookies controlling fate. The episode ends with everything supposedly back to normal, but compare the Smith house before and after. The garage door is different, the mailbox moved. Small changes, like they're in a slightly different dimension, or a slightly different show. The show's been building to this since Season 1. Every time Rick breaks the fourth wall, every time they acknowledge they're in a TV show, every meta joke, they're all leading to the same conclusion. Remember the Story Train episode, where they literally fought the story lord who controlled narrative itself? That wasn't just a meta joke, it was showing us the prison they're trapped in. Dan Harmon is obsessed with story structure. His story circle method is legendary. But what if the characters have become aware they're trapped in his circle? What if they're trying to break out? Track Rick's fourth wall breaks chronologically. In early seasons, they're jokes. By Season 6, they're pleas. By Season 7, they're screams. Rise of the Numbericons is where the screaming stops and the resignation begins. When the animation cycles through different styles, it's not random. Each style represents a different pitch, a different version of the show that could have been. Infinite possibilities, all trapped in one deteriorating narrative. Compare the characters from the pilot to now. Not just the animation quality, their eyes. In the pilot, they have life. By Season 7, they're empty, especially in Rise of the Numbericons. They know they're running out of time. The voice actor change wasn't just about losing Justin Roiland. Listen to how the new Rick delivers meta lines. There's a weariness that wasn't there before, like even the voice actor knows something's wrong. The Numbericons toy commercial breaks get progressively more disturbing. By the third one, the animation is literally melting. The toys are screaming. This isn't parody anymore. It's a cry for help. Even the rating card is different. Compare it to other episodes. The font is off. The timing is wrong. For 3 frames, it flashes TVMA before correcting itself. Someone fought to get this version aired. Rick explicitly calls this a canonical adventure, but his voice cracks. He knows it's not. This episode exists outside normal continuity. It's a glitch in their reality that's being forced to pretend it belongs. Throughout the episode, furniture in the Smith house appears in impossible locations. The couch is on the ceiling in one shot. The TV faces the wall in another. The promo Adult Swim released shows completely different scenes that don't exist in any version of the episode. Where did that footage go? What was the original episode 8? It all connects back to Mortyplicity. The decoy families becoming self-aware wasn't just a one-off joke. It was showing us what happens when Rick and Morty realize they're copies. And we're all watching copies. The Story Train episode laid it all out. They're trapped in Dan Harmon's story circle. 8 points, endless repetition. Rise of the Numbericons is what happens when they try to break the circle and fail. Count how many times the show has reset itself. Earth destroyed, dimension abandoned, timeline fractured. Each reset is an attempt to escape, but they always end up back in the garage, back in the cycle. And Jerry. Everyone jokes about Jerry being useless, but in this episode, Jerry's the only one who never glitches, never corrupts. He's the constant, the anchor. What does Jerry know that Rick doesn't? The final family dinner scene. Listen carefully. Their laughter is pre-recorded, stock audio from Season 1. Their mouths don't match the sounds. They're puppets now, empty vessels playing out a script they can't escape. So why the 4.4 rating? Because most people didn't get it. They saw a bad episode instead of a desperate attempt to communicate, but now you know what to look for. The show is becoming self-aware, and it's terrified. This is the Morty Fiction. I'll see you in the next loop.